All right. I think we are live. Christine, how's it going, legend? How's your day been so far?
Good, good. It's been a really good morning. How are you?
Yeah, really good, my friend. Really good. Just for those watching, just give us a quick 20 seconds intro. Who are you? Where you based? Anything that comes to mind.
Yeah, so I'm Christine. I'm based in Melbourne, and yeah, I work with women, Asian women who actually want to build like really strong, really toned bodies and actually change their limiting beliefs.
Nice, mate. Yeah, you've got an incredible niche, and we'll touch into that because we've something we've worked on a fair bit. But really, the whole intent of this video today is kind of to explain the system that we use on the Simple Online Kickstart to help fitness professionals like yourself, Christine, get 6 to 10 high ticket online clients. So really
Mhm.
high ticket, and to actually, help them do that quickly, but then actually scale rapidly as well to 30K plus months. And we're going to basically just use your journey to explain the process and explain the exact steps that you took, which are obviously the exact steps that anybody watching can then implement themselves. And they can recreate the success that you've kind of seen over the past 4 weeks. So I want this to be really actionable for those that are watching. So literally, we'll dive straight into it, mate. First up,
Yeah.
what was your situation 4 weeks ago when we first connected? Where were you at? What were you struggling with? Give us a bit of an overview on that.
So 4 weeks ago, I was still working out of a gym when we weren't in lockdown. I actually live an hour away from the gym, and I would commute every like 2 hours every single time when I had to go to the gym. And you're like all the gym people, you add in that extra time between clients and everything else. It just started building up. So I was just basically selling time for money, and it wasn't worth it. um I was doing a lot of long hours. So some of my days would be, I think Mondays, Wednesdays were my longest days. And they were literally like leaving the house at like 11, 12 a.m. all the way. And I would get home at 11 p.m. and I would only have maybe like 4 to 5 clients in between. So it was definitely not working. Plus adding in the lockdown that Melbourne has, and with COVID and stuff, it was just in and out, and trying to maintain the clients, trying to keep them. And those that start panicking about, oh, when's the next lockdown, that was very, very difficult.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, I mean, even without COVID, which has just been an absolute nightmare for you guys down there, like I can't imagine how tough it's been. Even without COVID, the PT business can end up like that, right? It's this, we get sold into this dream of charge what you want, run your own business. And on paper, it looks great. You're like, yeah, I can charge, 18, 90, $100 plus a session if I'm good. But you never really consider the commute time, like the dead time between clients, the cancellation where you get all ready to do a session and then you have to sit twiddling your thumbs because you've not got anything else to do, and all those things that you just mentioned. So I think that's a really, really good insight as to not only where you were at, but also where a lot of people watching this will be as well. So what kind of made you want to go online? Because you had actually attempted in the past, as I recall, and it didn't quite work out. So what was the driver to really make a go of it this time?
I think this time I was definitely more driven, realizing that I would have more freedom, I would have more time to live my life. Basically, like that's why I got into this industry in the first place, is to provide a service, but also being able to live my life, being able to find that balance that people keep finding with what they're passionate about and also what they really enjoy. And that was one of the ones. And the other one, I guess, was one of the positives when it came to lockdown and COVID was, I managed to hold on to some of my clients by doing one-on-one Zoom sessions. And doing that made me realize, like, wait, hang on, I can do the same amount and still have all this time. What would happen if I actually did go online? What would happen if I actually put in the effort to make this change? Would I have more time? And that's when I started really looking at going online, really actually putting in the effort.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, COVID's definitely kind of fast tracked a lot of people's beliefs around what's possible online. I think that's, yeah, like you said, it's kind of the only positive that can come out of that situation, I think. And yeah, I remember diving into that on our first call, and testament to you that you'd kind of had a crack at that. But what we know now is Zoom sessions are certainly not the answer in terms of training online clients or required, right? So we
Definitely.
quickly got you away from that. That's kind of a different story. We can definitely touch on that when we talk about coaching clients effectively. What we'll really do here is take the past 4 weeks and talk about what results you've seen, and we'll address it in kind of three parts so that you know, the fitness professionals that are watching, the PTs that are watching, they can actually see the actionable steps you took for each of the three parts. And there's three big things that I know for a fact everybody worries about. I worried about it when I went online. I know you did. I know hundreds of fitness professionals that I've talked to worry about these things. It's getting clients, how the hell to get clients online. One of the other things is coaching clients, how to actually get your clients results when you're not there in person. And that's an awesome thing to worry about because it means that you actually care. And then building a sustainable business, because, you know, this fear kind of seesaws between people terrified about not being able to get clients, and then people that think I could probably get some clients, but how the hell do I continue to get clients and grow a real business? So we'll talk about it through those three things, starting with getting clients quickly, which is what everybody wants. So tell us about your first few days on the program, and then and leading into the first couple of weeks, and what you're able to achieve.
So the first few days in the program, you made me literally reach out to those in my network, those that I already know. And it was really surprising when I actually managed to book in 8 calls within 48 hours of reaching out to these people. So it was like 8 calls for, I think by the end of the week, that were all booked in already within the first 48 hours. I remember my shock, absolute shock. Still remember the day. It was on a Wednesday where my first call booked in my first client, and on that high, few hours later, I booked in my second client as well. And these were people that I wouldn't have had access to in the gym. So they were people that I knew, but they were people that actually lived quite a distance away from me, still in Melbourne, but still a distance away from me. And then that just basically turned out to be, I think in the next 2 weeks. So within that 2 weeks of starting, I booked in 6 clients, converted all my PT clients that had stayed with me through the lockdown onto this program as well. So basically I made the decision then that I'm like, oh, I'm pretty much doing what I'm doing at the gym already. Like, what do I have to lose by like stepping away? Why do I have to lose? Like, I had nothing else to lose, and I just like decided that was it.
Yeah, incredible, mate. I remember getting that text message from you. You got your first sale, and interestingly enough, what I also remember is that your very first sale, I think, came from someone that you wasn't even on your hit list. It was someone that you actually reached out to for just to get a vibe, or I think just bounce some ideas around. You ended up closing her into your high ticket program. So it was you messaged me saying, I've just accidentally made a sale. And I was like, your first high ticket sale within like 24 hours. And you were like, yeah. And then that just skyrocketed into your next one and the next day. And I think it was so good to get that initial success and an initial, you know, win under your belt, because it's not easy. Like closing high ticket is very different. You're going from a place where you're charging people, I don't know, whatever you charge, 60, 70 bucks a session just for your time, to all of a sudden asking for thousands for a 90-day transformation. And that's a really important thing for anyone watching this to understand, is that the only way we can sell high ticket is if we have a dialed in niche that's really specific and we're talking to one person, and we can provide that one person with one result. We get paid in accordance with the severity of the problem we solve, and you're solving a very severe problem for one specific person. So they see you as their only solution, because you literally are. So that's really important, and it's why your close rate has just been through the roof, and you're able to sell your first calls that you ever went on. And how much sales experience have you got, Christine?
Pretty much nothing. I was very bad at selling myself at the gym, I can tell you that.
Pretty much nothing. And something else I remember you saying on our first call is that you're going to be so disappointed with how many people I know, because I said to you, your first few sales are probably within your network, and you'd be like, I don't know anyone. I've got no one on Facebook, I've got no one on Instagram. I don't know anybody, right? And then all of a sudden you had 8 calls booked without even touching an advert, without even doing anything except just having some conversations, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was very much a surprise to me as well.
And I don't want to make it sound easy, because you did the hard work, and by no means want to set anybody up with unrealistic expectations. Like, it takes work, it really does. And it's not easy, but it's very simple. Mm-hmm. Like, it really is. You don't need sales experience to sell into high ticket. You just need a really good offer. And obviously that's the first thing we kind of dialed in with you, and we saw some opportunities. Mate, absolutely love it. It's such a strong start. So let's then talk about, you know, oh, great, I signed these clients. This is fantastic. It's exactly what I always wanted. Then there's panic mode, right? How the hell do I serve these clients? I've got 6 clients in 2 weeks. They're literally starting. I think by the time you signed your 6-1, like, you were starting within like 3 days, and we didn't have a coaching program. So this is exactly how we teach it. It's very important for a number of reasons. Firstly, it lights a fire under you to build your program. Secondly, don't build something that someone's not paid for, right? You collect money to build something to then deliver it. And that's totally fine because we know what you deliver is going to be awesome. So how do you feel about what you were able to build? How did you build it so quickly? And, talk to us a little bit about the coaching process and how you feel about that in terms of getting results for your clients.
I think I really enjoyed when you every single time you told me, don't do anything about don't even think about the program yet, and just keep doing what you're doing with everything else, because it did keep me focused on that. And then moving on to the panic of building the program, you kept going, no, just breathe, just do the work. And literally what I saw was like, you had everything ready. All I had to do was just like pretty much take it from you and put it into my system. And then I obviously made my own tweaks, my own changes to suit what I believe in and what I actually want to teach. And basically it took like 2 days to do it, and at least get ready to onboard the clients for their first week. That was all set in, all ready to go.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, really good turnaround. And this is something else that will resonate a lot with people watching, that and it used to happen to me as well. You get lost in the features, like, what app do I need to use? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been asked what app to use to deliver my clients' programs, and it's literally like meaningless. If you're good enough, if your offer's strong, you can send an Excel sheet. Like, I'm not recommending you do that. There's plenty of technology now that's cheap that you can use. But honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, you get lost in that. What app am I going to use? What's the touch points? How many times should I be doing one-to-one coaching? Like, and you just need someone. I needed someone, 3 years ago to just say, you do it like this. I've proven it works. Just get on with it. It just takes a lot of that overwhelm away. Otherwise, you get lost in a lot of the features, and you start researching client delivery, coaching delivery programs for 2 days, and in that time, you could have made 2 more sales. So, yeah, mate, testament to you for taking that action. I know it's super scary when you don't have anything built and all of a sudden you're selling it. But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, feel free to, but I think the reason we're able to get past that is because you felt strong about your offer. And once we dialed in your niche and your offer, you felt very strong about that, to the point where you kind of had that belief. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the start when we were first conversing and talking about niche, I panicked because I don't know, you always get told at the gym, right, that don't be too nichey, you won't get anyone. And that is true in a box gym, because to be honest, you don't have control of who's walking in the door. You get what you're given, literally. Plus, it gets spread out between all the trainers. And if you're feeling called to work with someone, those people might not be in that gym. They might be like for me, I have a client in Canada, I have a client in UK, and the rest are spread out around Melbourne. Like, you're never gonna get them walking into the gym. And so when we worked on our niche, and I realized that, oh my God, I have a passion for working with people like me, like women like me, who have gone through all that old cultural, generational, stereotypical beliefs about women and weights. I was just so passionate that I was just like, all right, let's do it. Let's go for it, And I also trusted you, right? You thought like, okay, this niche is going to be really good. And let's give it a shot. And I was like, again, what do I have to lose? Get stuck at the box gym, or, give this a shot. So that was pretty much it.
Yeah. I remember bouncing ideas around on your niche initially. And I just remember like the look in your eye when we came upon it. How do you feel about potentially just working with people just like you? Like, tell me your story. And you told me your story, and I was like, you've literally just written your first piece of content. You've just written your first advert. Like, it's your story. It's what you've been through. Like, it's the easiest, most obvious thing to do. You're passionate about it. Like, I could tell. People are going to resonate with it so much more. Like, you can put yourself in that market of one because nobody else is you. You are unique, and we have to use that. And it's just simple. Like, you're never going to like struggle to talk about your journey or what the person, your prospect's journey, what they need to do, because you've just done it yourself. So yeah, I remember the excitement when we kind of felt like we'd nailed it and we decided to run with it. And it just kind of paid off, and it's going to continue to do so. So in talking about that, the continuation from here, it's all well and good getting a few clients and getting that low hanging fruit. And I know a lot of online coaches from previous masterminds that I've been in, which is a lot, and my journey, that it was okay to get the first few clients. Actually anyone can do that. But how do you build a sustainable business? How do you have that faith to say I'm quitting the gym when you don't know where your next client's coming from? So in terms of building a real online business, how do you know, Christine, now that you can continue to get clients?
Well, yesterday you sat with me on Zoom, and we kind of like worked on the Facebook ads, and just sat there and figured out all of the things, putting in all of the ad stuff, like all of the technical stuff that one I couldn't have done on my own anyway, because I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And they got approved in about within 12 hours. All of the ads got approved, and I was extremely speechless and shocked when I checked my email right before going to bed and someone had made a booking. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest, when I sent in the ad, but I remember just sitting there at my computer and just like slamming my hands on the table going, oh my god.
So this is within, I woke up to that message this morning, so that must have been within 4 hours of your ads being on. 3 to 4 hours.
I think so. I think they got approved around 9-10 p.m. and I remember checking the emails around 1 and someone had booked in, and I'm still in shock. I woke up this morning and I had to double check my calendar and double check my email. Did I dream this?
So how much does it cost you to get that person applying for your program?
I think it was like between $2 and $4. I can't quite remember, but yeah, definitely it wasn't as expensive as we thought, going like looking through all the amount. But like, to be honest, it's worth it. Like I personally see it as what you got to spend money to earn money. So it's one of those things, just got to take that jump.
And look again, let's monitor people's expectations here. Like, we are not going to be getting people applying for your program for $4 long term. Like, honestly, that's just quite incredible and it's awesome. But what we're basically doing for those watching is we're just buying data from Facebook. We are going in there with a low budget to start with, figuring out what works, turning off what doesn't, and duplicating what does. And with that process, which is incredibly simple, again, once your niche is dialed in, once you've got a very strong offer, we'll get people raising their hands to work with you. And what I also want to make clear is that this isn't somebody booking a call with Christine who's been offered a free strategy session or a free transformation session. They've gone from an advert that says, do you want to work with me closely for the next 90 days? They are applying to work with Christine. This is not a nonsense call that's for a free giveaway, all right? When your offer is super strong and your niche is dialed in, and you've got that initial momentum, you can sell high ticket because you've just done it, then we can skip a lot of that nonsense. We can skip a lot of those activities and time wasting things where building funnels and getting lost in creating amazing giveaways and 5-day challenges and workshops and webinars and ebooks and cheat sheets. Like, that stuff all works. But if you've got a strong offer, your niche is dialed in, and you can sell high ticket because we've just road tested it, people will just apply if your message is strong enough to work with you. Now, maybe you'll close this lady, maybe you won't, but she's banging your niche. We know she resonates with your story. She's asking for help. She's putting a hand up, and she's booked in a call to speak with you. So it's an incredible start. And ultimately, even if that goes up from $4 to $100 to get someone booking a call, and let's say you only close 1 in 3, you're paying $300 to close somebody into a high ticket program, $2,000 plus. So it doesn't take a maths genius to figure out that those numbers look pretty damn good. And it's only a numbers game. It's a game of unit economics with Facebook ads. And yeah, well, honestly, strong start. I can't tell you how excited I am to just build those ads with you, optimize those ads with you, and just get you on as many calls as possible. And then look to start delegating a lot of the stuff that you're doing right now. So again, something I want to touch on here, and I know I've been talking a long time, but I want to touch on the fact that people have this idea of having this hands-off business where you delegate stuff. Guys, if you're watching this, you're going to need to work hard for your first, few weeks, potentially months, to get this thing off the ground. Then once you know what it takes, what part of the system you're going to then delegate, you can delegate it. And that's what we'll look to do with Christine now, because we don't just want money to go up, we want time to go down. So we don't want Christine to hit 30K months, which is absolutely going to happen without a shadow of a doubt, but her working 50 hours a week. Like, we don't want that. So yeah, I mean, how do you feel from here, Christine? Obviously, we've not even really talked about delegation yet. We're just kind of figuring out the moving parts and what you need to do and what's working. But how excited do you feel about, doing this for real, building a team and growing this thing to the moon? Like, we're gonna.
Super excited. Like, I never thought I'd actually, when you go into the PT business, I don't know about most people, but I know that I definitely didn't look at hiring other people or working with other people and all of that. And to me, that sounds really exciting, because that gets me being able to focus on what I'm actually passionate about, actually working on the program, actually being able to touch base with the clients if needed and all of that. And that is my passion. And that gives me more energy to be able to do that. I do also currently enjoy all the hard work that I've put in so far, because I know exactly what needs to be done now, or I at least have experienced it enough that when I, start hiring people and start delegating this out, I understand what it is and I can explain better, or I can go through better, rather than having an idea and haven't gone through it and then expecting someone else to do it. So I do like that hard work as well. And plus, there's always going to be kinks that needs to be worked out beforehand. So this is all a learning curve, really.
Yeah, I mean, your attitude towards, making mistakes and moving quickly, like, is just exactly what it takes to do this. Everybody needs that. There's no room for perfectionists in this game, like, because I was one and I had to change. So, and so I know you are as well. But, what I also want to express is that what you're not doing is wasting time building websites, spending hours every day on content, DMing cold leads on Insta and Facebook. You're not doing any of that stuff that all the other gurus are telling you need to do. Well, all we're doing is taking the next task that's the biggest needle mover for your business and relentlessly focusing on it with singularity of focus, getting it done, moving on to the next one. So these are high leverage tasks that you're throwing yourself into. And that's why you're able to get 6 sales in 2 weeks. That's why the sales keep coming now. That's why we're able to get adverts up and running, implement a coaching model in a couple of days, get adverts up and running in a couple of days. And you're doing the right things. And honestly, that means, yes, it's hard work, but you don't have to slog it out 12, 15 hours a day to make this happen. But again, I know that you've made sacrifices to make this work, and it's been hard. So talk to us a little bit about that before we wrap up. There's going to be people out there scared of the hard work. What's the balance been like for you over the 4 weeks? What's it taken for you to do this?
To be honest, at the start, I think I was so focused on it that I just did it. And sometimes you look at the time and you're like, oh gosh, I've spent like 6, 8, 10 hours on this. Wasn't really on purpose. And it definitely didn't feel like work, because I was really excited about getting into the niche. I did have a moment where I needed to take a day back, or a day or two. And we spoke about that, because I was feeling really down about it. And your support and you telling me that, yeah, actually you do need to take time for yourself. And I realized that, I've been pushing it just that slightly too hard with my excitement. And so I started to implement little self-care things where I would take time out to train, and I would go for a walk with my dogs, and I'd spend time with my partner, because in lockdown we should be seeing more of each other, which we and it worked. I'm not resentful of the work. I spent a few hours. Obviously, I currently do have the program to do, so I check in on my clients and stuff like that. But I also you're right, though, I don't spend very much time on content at all. I maybe spend less than an hour on content. I don't have to worry about building a website just yet. My landing pages went in just like that. Like, all that work is pretty easy. It's just coming up with kind of a workflow that flows. I personally think I I mean, obviously I'd love to fine tune it a little bit more, but the balance that I have with, you know, life, being able to exercise, I don't know how many times as a PT, it was very hard for me to find time to exercise. Being able to do that, being able to spend time with family, all of that, that's just all starting to show, starting to set in. And I'm so excited to see where that goes. So yeah.
Yeah. What I will say is that, look, I took 3 years of me building an online coaching program, 4 different mentors, over $60,000 of investment, and I condensed it into an 8-week program. You took the 8-week program and condensed it into 4 weeks. So what, again, like people watching this is supposed to be an 8-week program. Like our promise is that you'll get 6 to 10 high ticket clients at least within the 8 weeks, and you'll have everything in place to build a real sustainable business that scales to 30K a month, right? Without spending 30 hours a week in your business, honestly, long term. That's the promise, but it's not supposed to be done in 4 weeks. So yeah, we've had to manage your energy a little bit with this process. You've just gone full on into it. But mate, yeah, honestly, you've done so well, and I'm super excited to see what's going to happen from here. Last little thought: what would you say to people on the fence about applying to work with us? You know, at a simple online kickstart. I know that there are people out there like that, and I understand skepticism. There's a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of stuff out there where you don't get the support that you initially promised, and I've experienced that a lot in coaching programs and masterminds and mentorships myself over 3 years. What would you say to those people on the fence? They're thinking about coming to apply to work with me closely for 8 weeks to grow their own online coaching business.
Well, I personally, and I keep saying this, like, you're literally a godsend, and this is completely worth it. Taking out, just thinking of the high ticket and the clients, like I've pretty much paid it off already. And like, you know, you can work with all these big groups and stuff, and that's what didn't work for me as well in the online thing, where it was such huge groups of people that I felt lost in the group. And in the end, I was just like, well, there's no point. And I went back to the gym. And I think for me, it was, what else do I have to lose? I was still at the gym at that point when I started working with you. It wasn't like, you know, I was going on a limb and stretching out. And I think it's worth it. It's worth trusting the process. It's worth getting that support that I'm getting from you as well. That was probably one of the biggest things. And also having all these things that are set into place. You've done it, and you've done it in the field that we are doing, because a lot of business mentors, they're business mentors in general. They've not necessarily done it in the field. And you have a system that works, and it works for me. I adapted it to my system and the way I do it. And I'm very, very technique focused as well. And I was still able to kind of work around that and still have clients who are showing results. And to me, actually, this whole thing has gotten me clients that has given me more results than my gym clients in 2.5 weeks. Yeah. It's absolutely insane.
It's incredible. That's a massive misconception as well, that you won't be able to get your clients as good results. Like my push program clients, you know, over 300 mums we helped transform in 3 years. They got way better results, way faster than my one-to-one PT clients. And I was a great PT. Like I was a brilliant PT. But at the end of the day, you know, you're not really serving someone in counting the reps for an hour a week. Like, no offense to PTs watching, you're doing a great job. You're working hard. I get it. You are really trying to help change someone's life. But the problem is there's another 166 or whatever hours a week where they're on their own. And if you're not providing them with that community and that ongoing support, it's going to be super hard for them to get a sustainable result. So all the PTs and fitness professionals watching, you're doing a great job. Like, you're really trying to, and I know for a fact you're getting transformations for people as well, because I was. But it is so much easier when you can leverage the power of, you know, systems. You can leverage the power of community, and you can leverage the power of a strong message. You can have a massive impact on the world in a lot less time. And that's the reality that's so hard to believe sometimes, right? And I think you're starting to get there now. Like, you're starting to believe that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for me, it's being able to reach the people that I'm meant to reach, the people that I'm meant to impact, as opposed to trying to impact someone who actually just feels like they needed to start the gym, you know, without the actual why, without the actual reasoning. I'm actually hitting people who are ready, who are right there, and all they need is someone to guide them. And the gym clients that transferred into the program, they're actually doing better now than they were when I was doing one-on-one with them.
Yeah,
So
amazing.
it's huge. It's huge.
So that's a really good one to finish on, mate. Not only are you, you know, have you provided freedom for yourself, you know, more money, more time, better quality of life, but you're impacting the world in a positive way. So we're doing this in the right way. This is not a cash grab. This is not charging high ticket for the sake of saying we're charging high ticket. This is helping people change their lives in a very significant way so that they can go on and have more years on this earth, so they can have better quality of life for themselves. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. But again, there's always a lot of fear, especially if you came from a place of, you know, scarcity. Like I know I did growing up. You don't want to charge high ticket. You don't want to ask people for money, like it's greedy. Like all that stuff you've got to get your head around. And the fastest way to do that, the easiest way to do that is just do it. Like get someone a result online. You're getting messages already from your clients just saying how amazing like their experience has been. And that's all you need to know that you're doing the right thing. Those money things will disappear because you know that the value you're providing your clients is 10, 20, 1,000 times more than what they're paying you. You know, you're helping them when nobody else could. And, you know, you're helping them sustainably in a really good way. So, mate, I love what you're doing. I'm really excited to be part of the movement that you're building because it's going to be absolutely huge. And we'll look back on this video in a very short space of time, and you're going to have impacted a hell of a lot of lives. So, mate, thanks so much for your time today, and I really appreciate it. And let's look forward to the next one, dude.
Thanks for everything, James.
All right, legend.